everybody. I've said that I'd love some help doing some video editing, and I thought I'd show you just how simple it can be. It doesn't have to be fancy or anything. So what I'm going to do is start up my video recording on my other screen, record entire screen. Right, so it's this one. Now I'm just going to open up this program called OpenShot. You can download it for free. Let me show you. Okay, OpenShot. I was just looking at some green screen stuff before. So you can download it here. It's available for Linux, available for Apple Mac, which I'm using, and available on Windows. And I've got a version of Windows on this Mac using something else called Big Camp, but you don't need to worry about that. So I've checked it. It does work on Windows, which most people will probably be using. So you just download it here, install it, and then I'll just open it up here. So I've got some other free things as well. This Inkscape is another open source, absolutely free thing, really handy. So is Blender, and both of those tools work with OpenShot. And then we've got GIMP as well. That's a really helpful tool. And this Audacity, which is an audio editing file, which OpenShot doesn't do great with editing audio, but we don't need to worry about that. So you open this up and you see this. And in Mac, you have to right click and click import files, or there's a little plus button up there, which I've not done that before. So let's see. So you're trying to import your files. Now all of my files I've put in one folder for each project to do. So this is a screen recording that was testing before, just to check this is working. So we go into the Christchurch service, and I want to import everything apart from that folder there, which it doesn't seem to have selected anyway. So I'm importing my video files, some image responses for people to join in with a Bible reading, the intro and outro video. I've just put in a reading, an audio file, which has been recorded in this .ogg file from WhatsApp that Jen sent me through, which you would have heard the other day. The outro video clip and a prayer, just to show you how that works. And again, the reading, which was a screenshot from something. I can show you how to do that as well. So I'm just going to import all of those, so click open. And so what you notice down at the bottom here, it's got track 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the different sort of layers of videos that can mesh together. So the first thing you want to do is just drag and drop. This will put it on track 1. It's our intro, and if I show you what that's like, it's just a building block, So that plays through. You're probably fed up with that tune. I know I am, but that's what we've picked because it seems to be nice and friendly. And so that's building block 1. And then we've got maybe the introduction to the service, which is building block number 2. Now you see these are quite short clips. We can zoom in using this scrolling up here to just give you an idea. And so if I wanted to, I'll just click here to bring the timeline on a bit. Just click play. Video number 1. There we go, video number 1 to blend in. Now if I can overlap that if I want a bit to get a blend between the two. Video number. So instead of it being an abrupt clip in, it was a slight blend. The other way of doing that, if I just delete the fade there, is leave it like that, and then just this in the transitions tab here, there's a fade here, and you can just drag that over there, and I'll just make it so about half the length of my clip there, because it's only a short clip. Move this back up here and just click play. Video number 1. And you see that. You might have heard a little bit of audio. I don't know if you can hear my video in the background there. It just sort of blips in the background. There's my phone blinking away as well. So that's video number 1. That might be the introduction to the service. And then we might have another video that we're just dropping in, video number 2 that I've done. And then we might have, that might say, and we're going to have the Bible reading. So we've got a little audio file here. So in the you can have show all to have everything on show at once. You can also just show all of the videos, show all audio files, and if you've got any images as well, they show there. So we'll just go to the audio, and again, that's just Jen's audio file. And what I do sometimes is you can put that on a different line so that you can see it, how it's all blended in together. So you could say, oh, it's going to overlap there, and you'll see 2.
The first reading today.
So that's Jen's reading. Now what you notice, it's a little bit crackly at the beginning. We can just clip these, we can shorten these, so just hovering over here and dragging that, and so.
The first reading.
So it just starts just before she says anything. And if you wanted it to be a nicer blend with just a, because it's just an audio clip, we can right click on this file here, and in volume we can do an entire clip, and we want to fade in and out fast, and we'll see what that sounds like.
First reading today.
So I can hear a difference there. It just slowly picks up the level in the volume, so it's a nicer transition, so you can do that. And so over the top of that, on the screen here, you can just see it's blank. So what we put is the reading, and so I'm just going to drop that in here, and again I want that to last the whole of Jen's audio file. So just zoom out a bit here, select my reading and drag it to last the whole length of this clip. And again, I want that to be a nice blend in and out. So right click and I can do fade. I want it to do the entire clip, so I don't have to do the beginning and end, but fade in and out fast. And so when we do that, you'll see this.
First reading today comes from 1.
There we go. So it fades in nicely, so we just listen to the end.
Of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Oh, so you can hear that Jen says, this is the word of the Lord, thanks be to God. And so we've just got a little Bible response. So again, the response is, it's just an image file that I've created, which will be available if you do this on a Google Drive folder. And we'll just drop it in here along track 1 with the other videos, so we can see that it's on screen. Or in fact, I'll do it up here because it'll overlay. I think they sort of stack effects on one another. So if I do this, what you'll notice.
Or a criminal or a meddler in
Go
other
on.
people's affairs.
So it's over the top, and this effect, this Bible response image is a transparent background, and so just the bottom strip is visible. If I do it on track 1, you'll notice that it's hidden. It should be hidden.
Suffer because you are a Christian.
It's hidden by the other stuff because it stacks up. So 1 is the bottom, and we put this on the top. The other thing we could have done is, oh well, no, I'm going to complicating it. So we just keep it simple for now. So we've come out of the Bible reading, and we're just going to, Nina's just coming in the room now, which I'm not going to bother editing out. So you'll star in this video, Nina. I'm going back to my videos, put in video number 3, and that could be a prayer. So let me get my image for prayer and show you how this works. So you'll notice,
thanks be to God.
Thanks be to God.
Can you see?
Oh yeah, so we just line up this bit here. So it'll be with Jen's Bible reading.
Ashamed of it, but thank God that you bear Christ's name.
Okay, so I'll just pause that there. I can see that it's gonna, oops, it's a little bit slow. This is only a little MacBook, it can't cope with too much. And video editing can be demanding sometimes. It tends to work. I've heard people using this OpenShot on Raspberry Pis, which you know, aren't massive. So we've listened to what Jen's saying.
Thank God that you bear.
Thank God that you bear Christ's name. She says that.
Christ's name.
And then at the same time, this is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
Can you see where this is going?
Right. So we can just fade that one entire clip, fade in and out fast. So we're into this other clip, and you see that you can't see the bottom video number 3.
Can you see where this is going? Video number
because this is in the way of it. So if I just play this again.
Thanks be to God.
Can you see where this is going?
So that's the video. It's just a little bit slow there, sorry. Again, it's so I've overlaid this prayer here. Now you see this property bar, it might not always be visible, so view toolbar. Oh, views. So simple view. You might have just started off like this, and don't worry if that's how you started, because you can just go here, view, views, and we want advanced view. Or if it wasn't, just go back to simple view. Or, so you might have, you can move things about here as well and make things bigger or smaller as you need. You can also select the little block that you're working on, right click on it and click properties, and that brings it up this left hand column here, this advanced column. And what we're going to do, because we want people to be able to see the video behind on track 1, but also we want track 2 to show the prayer. So this alpha layer here, I just tend to put it down to 0.5, press return, and what that does, I will right click, fade that in and out, entire clip, fade in and out fast. We'll do a fade in and out fast on that entire clip.
To God.
Can you see where this is going? Video.
So maybe we'll say that is there. Let me just play this.
Can you see where this is going? Video number 3.
Oh, so that did a weird thing then. What was that weird thing? Let's zoom in and have a closer look. Right, so what you can do if things are going funny, we can put in no fade. Yeah, that's it. You can't do a fade when you're changing the alpha layer, sorry. So there's another way to overcome that, which I'll show you now. So we want this to fade in nicely. We've got the
video number
movie, and we want this prayer to fade in nicely. And we also want to be able to see the background again. So I'll show you that again. Right click on it if you didn't have properties up, get to properties, double click into here, 0.5, press return or enter. And then it puts this, it puts the layer as a opaque layer, so you can see through. You can see the video isn't as clear because you've got a grey background, a dark grey background in this. And what we do then, because we can't do the fade on this because it alters the alpha layer, you have to grab, so you've got effects, transitions, well, you've got your project files there. So these transitions, all these different ones, I just like a nice simple fade, and just drag it. It's another item, you just drag. You want it to start at the beginning of it, and it's just going to fade in the beginning of it. So we'll watch this.
Video number 3.
Nice fade in there. Okay. We also want to fade out at the end. Now if we just put it, oh, it's big, isn't it? We just put it at the end, so like this. So we layer over it exactly, and if it's not exact, you get this, you can see part of it behind it here. It needs to be exact, otherwise it does a funny thing on the screen there. So if we play this, what you'll notice, it fades in because it's a fade in. It's set to fade in automatically, so you have to right click on it and reverse the transition, so it becomes, instead of a fade in, it's a fade out. So we'll go back here and play, and it fades out nicely. And so if that video clip might have been longer, let's just shove this along a bit. We'll only have that, or we could overlap it slightly into the next video, but not too much. So we've got a fade in, as much as we need, a fade out. You know, it is nice if these things can, you know, be exact mirrors of one another, but don't worry if it isn't. And so there we go, it's a nice block. So what we're saying is if it isn't this at the end, if it isn't lined up properly, you see how it blinked? So it looks messy. It's not nice to look at. So we just do this. Make sure it's lined up and it fades out nicely. Right, so we've got our final project file, the video 4, which, so that layer, track 2 layer, is going to fade in and out with the prayer words. And what I'm going to do is just overlap these. So if at the end of, you know, you'd recorded this and it was some nonsense at the end, you can just shorten that, or you can be watching this and go, oh, I'll pause that there. I press spacebar to pause it, but you can just be hovering over here, watching. I don't want that bit in, so you can right click and click slice, and keep both sides if you want, if you're not certain, and it splits this, and you can then just right click and remove that clip there. So we don't want that bit. So you could have done that at the beginning, get rid of a beginning bit of the clip. So you just right click, slice, keep both sides so I can see what's happening, get rid of that, and then I just do get rid of the fade, no fade, and then put the fade, oops, undo, Control Z, undo, or Command Z on a Mac. Right click, fade, entire clip, fade in and out fast, and it just puts the fade back in again. So sometimes if you can't be bothered dragging and dropping the transition fade effect, you can overlap your videos slightly and it automatically fades between them, which can be quite nice.
Finally, we'll do video.
So the audio is a little bit glitchy because it's just struggling to keep up with overlapping videos and things. But when you compile it using this, it all works out fine. So you've got another video in there and you go, right, I've actually done. I'm just going to put the outro video in so that, you know, it might butt up tight to the end, or again, you might go, I'm going to overlap that because I know the video, the outro video's got a, it's a nice to blend the two videos together, so you get the logo coming in over the person saying goodbye to everybody, thanks for tuning in and come again next time. And then what I do sometimes is I overlay images, so you know, do the you know, that's a dark one there and it's just the prayer, but it would be the credits to say thanks for so and so for reading, thanks for so and so for leading, all of that sort of stuff. So we'll just get rid of that. So we'll just zoom out. Zoom out. It's going to be a short, really short project. So it's got video 1, video 2, video 3, video 4 with the intro and outro video. We had an audio file recording. We had the reading overlaid. We had this Bible response. This is the word of the Lord. So that's got a transparent layer, so it doesn't need to mess with this alpha layer in the properties. And then we had the prayer here, didn't we? And we, oops, so let's go over here. Alpha, yeah. So alpha we set at 0.5, so it did this lovely effect over here. So you could see the video behind and also read the prayer through it. So this is sort of as simple as you get. You don't have to do these effects. You don't have to have blends between things. You know, if you just want to put your video up, it can just, I was watching the program last night and it just like cut it, you know, it didn't have a fade, it just cut between them. between the scenes. So it just jumped, and it doesn't need to fade all of the time, does it? It just depends what your preference is, what style you're going for. And so finally we just click on this red dot to record or export the video. So I always do it in just 720 frames because it doesn't need to be HD. We're not professional. I do it as high a quality as I can. It's an MP4 video, which seems to be compatible with most things. I don't bother looking at any advanced settings. Untitled product, so if you'd already saved, let's go and just save this, because you probably should have saved this when you started. And I'm going to put it in desktop and my Christchurch folder, so save it in here with all of this. And we're just going to call it, what did we call it? Christchurch. Oh, hit the caps. Christchurch service. Okay, and I click on save. So save that. So when we click on record now, it should already be called Christchurch service there. And it tells you it's going to save it to the desktop board, so we can click browse. And we're going to save it into the Christchurch folder. Oh, it had the folder address, sorry, wasn't it? Desktop Christchurch service, that's the name of the folder. And then it'll be called Christchurch service.mp4, which will be in that folder. So we click on export video. If it's a longer video, it's going to take longer to compile the video. So this is going through quite quickly. I'll blend it back in when I do this edit for this video, and you'll be able to see that all done, and I'll show you what it's like at the end. So I'm just going to wait for it now. Oh yeah, so while that's doing, let me, okay, I'll open this up. Christchurch, Norris Green. Go to video services. So I'm just gonna okay. So I forgot to also just show you how I do create some of the material. So you're not creating loads of image files as you know, it's not as complex as you might think. So I'm just going to right click on a Google Slides file. I'm going to make a copy down here. So try and use all three things where I can, because it means if other people are going to do it, then they don't have to pay for any extra software. So I do like to keep things simple in that sense. So I'm just going to rename this. So I'm just copying this file because it's got formatting in that I've used already. So this is going to be the Christchurch service. And then I'm just going to right click again and move it to back a level here, video services that I've been working on, and Christchurch service here. So just move it to there and move. I'm going to go back to video services, Christchurch service, the folder. So try and keep things ordered in folders. It's helpful. You know, a tidy workspace is a happy workspace. A straight line's a happy line, as my head of year used to say, Mr. Lightfoot. Christchurch service. And so if I go in this, you'll see it's a Google Slides, a presentation like a Microsoft PowerPoint. It's got our reading in, so it's just loading up a little bit. I don't know if the computer's slow or the internet, sorry. And so you can see the one piece of reading here is just across one slide, and it's just a word, some text in a text box. And so if I was doing another one, I could just select all of that. You can see actually here, if we're doing a new reading, you might type in over the top, so you keep the bold formatting. So it might be John chapter 3 verse 16, and if I was to go get that, John 3:16, I tend to use Bible Gateway. Bible Gateway, there we go. It's Google knows what I like. It's a New International Version there. You could pick a different version if it was the New Revised Standard Version, and then just click search again and it loads it up. And so you just want this text here, copy that, go back to my service here. So I'm just going to leave that first word in, because when I paste this, Control V or whatever, you see it's the formatting from the website. So if I select that, then there's a paint format here, and I'm just going to drag it across this text here. So it puts it in the same format, so that all of the videos have got the same formatting. So now I've got a new Bible verse here. It could be, this is the reading from Sunday. It could be, we want to put on just another prayer. And so what you do, you might not want all of those slides. There's those prayers. Right click and just click delete those slides. We've got special thanks to, you change that. So that was just storing some text for YouTube. This was for the advert on Sunday the 29th. So again, you've got the formatting here for all of these. So go back to here and click on present, and just wait for the bits to disappear off the screen. Oh. I'll move my mouse over here. Right, so, and then on a Mac, it's Shift, Command, and 3, and it does a screenshot. I don't know if you heard that noise as well, a little camera click. And so you just go through doing screenshots of what you need. So they appear on my desktop in a Mac. You might just have to search for Windows computer, just Google it. How do I take a screenshot on a Windows computer? It might be that you're pressing print screen and you have to go to an image editor and just paste it in there and then save it. And then just right click and rename them. Put them in your folder that you're working from, so you get all of your bits as you go in. And I'm just going to go back in and see if this is finished compiling. Yeah, so that's finished. So just click on done. So that was how to create some of those bits there. So it's in the Christchurch folder here. So let me just go and grab a screenshot from before. And you drop those in, but you don't want to keep them as that, so you just right click and click on rename. It's a bit different in Windows, but not too different that you can't figure it out. Rename. So this, I don't know if that was the Bible one or reading one, you could call it. And then rename that other one, but anyway, don't need those. So we're just going in to see where the video is. So this .mp4 file here. So let's just drag this across. So I double clicked on it, it's opened up a program, and we can just see our finished masterpiece here. So you can just watch it through, check that there's been no little blips. If there have and you're not too bothered, you can just leave them in. We're not aiming for perfection, so just pause that. You might watch it all the way through, check it's okay, and then you're just gonna go to YouTube and upload it, aren't you? So YouTube. So I'm already, you can see, logged in under Google. You might have to log in, and then so I just go down. So if that wasn't like that, you could just open it up there, your videos, and then just this button up here, create a video or post, and then upload a video. it pops up another little screen in a moment. It's just taking its time. I don't know if someone else is using up all my bandwidth. Select your file. So it's, you know, keep things organized, keep things in the same folder. This MP4, double click on it, it opens it up. Oh, I'm not bothering answering that. So you can rename it here if you called it, if it was called final draft. And you, oh, I don't want people to see it was my final draft. I just want them to know it was here. And then the description. So again, I have. If you're going to do this, I've got all my files here. Let me show you. So I've been doing podcasts. So I don't think SoundCloud podcasts. Again, that's another free thing if you're just recording audio files. So podcast blurbs. Try and keep things saved so you can just copy and paste. You don't want to have to reinvent the wheel every time you do something. And so it's got tags. It's a little bit blippy. Intro. So I've recorded, I've written a script so I know what I'm saying. So I don't get blanks, which I sometimes get. So YouTube tags, so you notice YouTube tags have got commas, tags for SoundCloud don't need commas. So just select that, right click, copy it, and then go to YouTube channel here. So you type in the description, which you might have written and be able to copy and paste. Description, blah, 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 blah. You can add it to a playlist if I could create a playlist, Christchurch services, and have them all in a playlist. I should probably do that. You can say, yes, it's made for kids. If kids are on their tablets, you want it available for that. If you do that, it means you can't do something else, but keep it simple. Just go in here and we can see tags. So tags are just search terms. So if someone searches Norris Green or Liverpool or Christchurch, Norris Green, Kingdom of God, that sort of stuff, then we get hits on our video. It comes up in the search listings. We just select, come on, internet, be patient. So select this, English United Kingdom. We've got no captions, sorry. I haven't got the time to do that. You can recording dates. So I've recorded it today. So if I recorded it we sometimes record on Thursdays for church service on Sunday. You can select the date it was recorded so people know. We can type in our location, Norris Green, Liverpool. I've used that before, so that's come up quicker. And just give it standard YouTube license. It's just people and blogs. It's not comedy or it doesn't seem to fit under anything else but people and blogs. We want to be able to allow people to embed the video so it appears in people's web pages if they want to use it that way. Publish to subscriptions, feed and notify subscribers. So if anyone's subscribed, it'll pop up in their news feed. You click on next. Video elements, well, it's grayed off. We can't edit those. So the end screen, that's because we've got this kids view. We've said yes, it's made for kids. If we click on no, you can mess about. Oh, well, you should be able to. I'm not looking at that now. But anyway, so what I tend to do is a scheduled publish. So if it was a Sunday service, so it's coming up, it's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just double check things. We don't want any errors. And then the time. So you might want to make it go live an hour beforehand. So normally our service is at 10:30. You want to put it at 9:30 so that you've got some time, some wiggle room in case anything goes wrong. And set it as a premiere, so it does a countdown to this date. So people, when they click on the link, if the link comes up sooner, we'll just click on schedule that, and it'll start publishing that in the background. So as a premiere, if you click on the link, so if you put that link on a Facebook page, then what people see is this is going to premiere in 4 days' time on the 5th of April at 9:30. And that's, for some reason, the most interesting image it's picked out of the video to display for now. quite often it's a picture of whoever's leading the service. But anyway, that's about it. So we've done some video editing, some of the basics. We've done uploading to YouTube, and so OpenShot, we've seen how that works. There's loads of stuff, loads of videos available to help. And so there's the likes of GIMP, if you're going to really get into this a bit more and create some more complex images. I just Google if I'm stuck on how to do things. So that's, you know, completely free, GIMP. There's Blender, which sort of works in the background of OpenShot in some bits. There's Inkscape, again, which works in the background of this. These are all free. And this Audacity, this audio editing, which I've used to blend in fade in some of the volume. I was using iMovies and I've gone over to OpenShot because not everybody's got a Mac, and it's nice to be able to learn something that other people are going to use. So hope you found this useful anyway, and we'll call it a day. So please do get in touch with me. It's tomlangdonsmith@gmail.com, or yeah, I won't give my mobile number out on here. You'll probably find me on Facebook though, through Christchurch. Have a chat with Helen if you know Helen and don't know me. But yes, thank you very much for watching.